Hi everyone, how are you doing? Can you all see me? How's the quality? Alright, oh, my chat window is not showing, so I can't read. Ah, there we go. Oh, thank you. Jade says, oh, nice hat. Before I get started, for those of you who are newcomers to the Fate of Destiny live streams, and for those of you who are watching this live event after it's been live as a recording on youtube.com/FateofDestinee, this is how I usually try to run things. I will read the username or name, whatever you're using, in the comment section, and then I will read the comment or question and respond to it. I usually do a pretty good job of keeping track of everybody. Sometimes I get a little bit bogged down though, so I might pause, and if I do, I'll usually tell you, hey, I'm getting caught up in comments or what have you. How's the quality for everybody? Light, sound coming in all right? Oh, also, if you're having buffering problems, usually refreshing the page is enough. So hit F5, refresh your feed. That's usually works. If not, I am broadcasting this in a mobile version, a mobile quality, a mobile band, as well as in a regular HD quality. And okay, looks like everybody's. We've got Jennifer Young, thumbs up. Looks and sounds good. Colleen Barnett, frown. Everything's green. Oh no. Kenneth A. Fuller, keep getting an error. Joe Fabeeds had to wait for about 15 seconds. Now it's good. Try refreshing. Oh, haven't done anything different than the last couple of times. Usually it's been, this has been good enough, but I don't know. On my end, everything looks good, but we'll see. Okay. Charger8924. Hello, Destiny. How are you doing today? Peachy Keen. I'm also Peachy Keen. Ah, good. It looks like for a number of people, we're reporting good quality now. Fantastic. Okay, and intermittently, I will be taking sips of my rewashed bottle of water with Mio water in it. Today it's cranberry raspberry lemonade. And it's delicious, if you were wondering. From where is everybody tuning in? I know some of you are overseas viewers, and some of you are in my very own home state of Wisconsin. Colleen Barnett, the pigtails rock, Dest. Yeah, I never outgrew them. That, and I really like them with this, these types of hats. And yeah, I'm not, watching the Brewers play right at the moment, but I still represent. Whoa, the comments are updating pretty quickly here. Marcus DeBruno, South Lake, Texas. Jose Sosa, Orlando, Florida. Dmitry Volkov. Oh wait, I'm sorry, that's not a comment to me. That was a comment to somebody else. But I know Dimitri's from Canada, if memory serves. Jofi Beats, Ohio! Jennifer Young, wish I could pull the pigtops. I can read, I promise. Pigtails. But, well, I'm a bit challenged up top. Short hair. I had, I don't even remember what the reason was, but for some reason, oh, I do remember, actually. I had a different lady cutting my hair, a friend of my mother's, thought it was going to be just fine because it was for free, can't complain, right? Well, she cut off like 8 inches, and being a girl and not wanting 8 inches of your hair cut off, that was pretty, upsetting. So then I had this teeny little hair, and I put it in these little bitty baby pigtails, and they would just poke out, and I couldn't even get all my hair in them. It was sad, but it was kind of funny. I tried to make the best of it. Oh, some more people tuning in. Brian. Okay, wait, let me give you my disclaimer. I usually do this earlier, but if I read your username or your name incorrectly, I'm really, really sorry. I promise I'm not doing it on purpose. If you give me some instruction on how to pronounce it, I'll try to remember. Generally, I do okay, but yeah, sorry in advance. But yeah, that was Brian Kane. North Carolina here. Yankee Marshall. I look stunning in pigtails. Oh, I'm sure. And Yankee Marshall added on, but I don't want to show Destiny up on her own show. Aw, that's polite of you. Brian Kane. Torn between the Taurus PT709, Taurus Millennium Pro G2, High Point C9, Caltech PF9, and Smith & Wesson SD9VE. Any suggestions? That entire list is all guns I have not fired. So I'm not going to be any help on that front. But hey, if anybody else in the live stream right now has some experience, feel free to pitch in and let Brian know your opinions on those guns. Jose Sosa, Des, say hi to Dad. Hi to Dad. He waved. Yankee, I can't read that one out loud. Alright, getting caught back up on some comments. Lance Stone. I know how hair can be troublesome, big smile. Being a dude with hair longer than most gals I know is funny. I've known a couple of guys like that. Probably, I don't know, it might be my affinity for, like, rock music that I seem to end up having friends guy friends who have longer hair. Not really sure how that worked out, but I've had a few of them. And there have definitely been times, especially when that lady botched my hair, because it was only like 2 years ago, because it was when my videos like just started ramping up, and I'm like, I have to go and do videos with no hair. But I definitely had guy friends who had longer hair than me, and I was sad. Brian Kane. It's pronounced Kane. Oh, I wasn't too off then. Fabulous. Gabe Rivero. What caliber bullet on your neck? This is a titanium charm. It's a little pendant that one of my friends made me, modeled after a 45 ACP round, because that's one of my favorite rounds to shoot. If not my favorite. Pretty close up there. I really enjoy 7.62x25 though. That Papa Shaw round, that's a blast. I always forget how to pronounce this one. Gerald Matalavage? Does his pigtails match the hair on his back? About Yankee Marshall's pigtails. Okay, let's get caught back up. Oh, Okami Jigoku. I never could really have long hair. I work on machinery too much. Oh, I have had some people ask me if it gets caught in, like when I'm handling a rifle with a sling, or even just having, you know, a long gun up to my cheek, if my hair gets caught in it or not. It's not a problem I've had. Handgun newbie. Finally here. Sorry, I ran out of beer and cheese. And, well, you know, priorities. Totally understand. I mean, Wisconsin. We can't live without those. Here, at least. John Comarty. I used to own the PT709. It's decent. You can't limp wrist, or else it will double feed. But otherwise, it's fine. So I believe that was to Brian, if you're still wondering. Oh, dear God. Yankee Marshall. No, I dye the hair on my back and I wear it braided. Awkward turtle. Brian Kane, what are you carrying at the moment, Destiny? Right now, I am wearing my Crossbreed Super Tuck holster, and in it is my Kimber Sis Pro 1911. The shirt I'm wearing happens to be kind of, well, you can't see, but it's flowy, sort of one of those, I don't know, peasant-type tops. And it seems to be fairly well accommodating for my full-size pistols. Although the M9 still prints a little bit. I gotta be kind of careful with that one. She's just a big girl. Let's get coffee. Oh, Jade Yankee. That reminded me of Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean. Yes, right. He lashed together tortoises with hair from his back to escape the island, right? Steve Wallace, isn't the 7.62x25 a Tokarev round for the Papa Shaw 41? Yes, indeed, it is. And it is a blast. I haven't shot the original, like, Russian PPSH 41, but I have shot the Polish copy of it, which is still an absolute blast.
43C.
I believe it is the 43C because it has the stock is pinned. Yeah, the stock is pinned, so it's technically a pistol, but you know, it's a fun gun. That, and as far as guns go, because it was milsurp, it was fairly cheap. Marcus De Bruno. Dest, I know you did a video on carrying in no carry zones, but I didn't really get a sense of your opinion as to what you do/think about it. Also, Dad of Dest can answer if he has a thought. I prefer to keep that information to myself. Just, you know, operational security. And I think that's something that every concealed carrier has to decide for themselves. Let's look through some more comments here. I'm looking through some more comments on here. Oh, Charger 8924. Does anybody else have GTA 5? I was not as excited for Grand Theft Auto 5. Just the last few of them have just seemed so similar. And yes, I do enjoy them. They're fun to pop in and just, you know, shoot some stuff up. But I don't get as much enjoyment out of them since, like, Vice City. So I haven't gotten it, GTA 5 at all, much less waited for the midnight release. Although I did the midnight release for Dishonored, I did the midnight release for Skyrim, and I did the midnight release for Bioshock Infinite, because I'm that kind of nerd. Brian Kane, how long does it take to get a CCW? That's a wonderful question. It depends from state to state, and I've even heard a little bit of differences in what county you're in, especially for the states that require the sheriff to sign off before you can get a permit. As far as Wisconsin goes, from the people I've spoken with at the gun shops I frequent and just my fellow Wisconsin concealed carrying friends, the recent turnover has been about a month. But first, you have to take in Wisconsin, the 8 hours, the 8-hour training class. You have to get your certificate, send a copy of that in. But it's not too bad. I had one friend tell me he got his in like 3 weeks, which is, you know, pretty snazzy. Oh, in regards to the carrying in a no carry zone, Yankee Marshall says, I think if it is not a felony, do it. So that's his opinion on the matter. Jose Sosa, in Florida, it takes 2 to 3 months. The Gunshine State. I'm surprised. I would have thought the turnaround would be a little quicker. Joe Fabit says it depends on how busy the county sheriff is. Colleen Barnett says in Kentucky it takes roughly 3 to 5 months for the total process. I know when Wisconsin first started issuing concealed carry permits, there was just this massive backlog, and it took several months. But if any of my friends who have gotten permits in the last, I don't know, 5 months or so, the turnaround's been fairly quick. Give or take, you know, a month, give or take a couple of weeks. Jennifer Young, CCW? What's that? Oh, right. 49 other states allow their citizens to get that. Womp womp. Well, Illinois is working on it. I know they passed the legislation. Although you'll have the longest training requirement out of any state, and from what I recall, no reciprocity whatsoever, which is kind of a bummer because anyone who wants to get an out-of-state permit, it's like $300. So that's kind of nonsense. I'm kind of not thrilled about that because, you know, being in Wisconsin, there are times where I travel through Illinois, especially going out to shoots like when I went to the training at American Institute of Marksmanship in Kentucky, or the range time with Corey and Erica and their range in Indiana. Had to go through Illinois, which means that I'm legally concealed carrying in Wisconsin and then have to pack everything all up, get all unloaded, and everything separated, and it's just a little bit of a pain. But I don't know if it's $300 worth of a pain in the rump. I'll have to make my mind up on that one. Handgun newbie, Dest. I don't think I've seen a video on it, but if you haven't had a chance to go to Range Time, Choreo 7 Inc. for training, do it. We went there this weekend, and it rocked. Oh, I'm glad you had a great experience with them. I'm friends with both Corey and Erica. I'm so excited about their baby. Noah's a cutie pie, according to the pictures I've seen on their news feeds on Facebook. But I just enjoy being around them, shooting with them. They're a lot of fun. I haven't had the opportunity to take their training, but Charger 8924, did you hear Erica had her baby? Yes, I did. I sent them both my congratulations when I found out. Alright, looking through... Ooh, Dmitry Volkov. Canada actually has a shall issue, but they've never issued a single one, no matter how much training you have. Really? Ah. I knew that Canadian laws are fairly restrictive, at least in comparison to American laws on concealed carry, but I haven't done a whole lot of research, seeing as how I don't live in Canada, and I don't know if I've ever traveled to Canada. Jeff Eames, LOL, loved that video, LOL, oh my god, where you're carrying, or are you carrying, LOL, with that Valley Girl accent? Yeah, the Miss Budinsky. Oh my god, are you, like, carrying a gun, like, right now? I enjoy that character because that's based off of some real-life interactions I've had. I've not had to make anything up for what she has to say. Looking through comments again here. Ooh, Marcus DeBruno. I did my class on the 10th and had the license in the mail 2 weeks later. Nice, that is quick. Alright. Wow, you guys are chatting really quickly. Jeff Eames, no CCW permit required in Vermont, Arizona, and Alaska. That's what I've heard. I didn't remember offhand about Vermont, but I did remember for sure Alaska and Arizona. Or is it Colorado? I'm sorry. Had a brain blank there. Lance Stone, here in the Czech Republic, it's usually shall issue, but it depends on the police station region from region. In Prague, they didn't even give a second thought when I asked for a concealed carry permit. I haven't put much thought to concealed carry overseas, except that I know, well, most countries are more restrictive than the United States, which makes me feel fortunate that I live in the country I do, considering the hobby that I have. Ryan Kane, have you been tased since being tased in your video, Destiny? No, thank goodness. That was not fun. I mean, I did it for the scientific purposes, because I couldn't find the information that I was looking for on any other source. I watched a ton of videos, I read a bunch of articles, even other people who got tased didn't sit down and say, this is what it felt like, this is what my body was doing while I was receiving the tase. So I did it myself, but because I've already done it and I have everything on video, including my response and the act itself, I don't really have a reason to go and get tased again, and I didn't enjoy it, so I'm not about to, you know, run around to go and get myself tased. Daniel Hadley, is this thing on? Why, yes it is. Sorry, I get thirsty. Sling 948. You all give me CCW envy. I'm in California. Steve Wallace. Hey Des, saw Hickok45's recent vid with you and 22 Plinkster. Just wondering if you got the chance to sling a few rounds at his famous gong. Yeah, we did do a little bit of shooting on his compound. Obviously not while we were all, while he was doing his woods walk. That was all safe and unloaded and everything, but we did get to do some plinking. It was fun. It was a great time. Marcus DeBruno. Anyone have opinions of the K-Bar TDI law enforcement? Do tell. I'm not familiar with that situation. Gerald Matalavage. Poor California, 2 major cities controlling the entire state. Sometimes Wisconsin seems that way too, a little bit, not to the same degree. But because the major population centers are Madison and Milwaukee, and oh, by the way, those are also very liberal, well, progressive if you ask many residents of those cities. There are more liberally minded people there, and they end up having louder voices than some of the rest of the state. Scott Bassino, so what the heck is the deal with this Navy shooting I missed in the news lately? Opinions on the matter? Actually, I just wrote an article about that. I released it last night on thearmsguide.com. There have been some updates since I wrote that, but just sad. I mean, what shooting isn't sad? I believe they first reported the gun as an AR-15. Big surprise there. I also believe they reported he had a shotgun and a handgun. Oh, I'm getting an update that it was, in fact, a shotgun. Ooh, I'll have to update the article then. Oh, I also read somewhere that the shooter, Alexis is his last name? I can't remember his first name. Aaron Alexis, 34 years old, that he had some mental issues, which, I mean, considering what he did, I would say that seems logical, because I can't conceive of where a person would have to be mentally, in what state of mind they'd have to be in to do what he did. I think it's really, really tragic. We're getting an update here. He did not have an AR at all. He had an 870 and 2 handguns. Yankee Marshall says, this is a clear demonstration of the failing of the contractor vetting process. Oh yeah, because he was a former Navy, or he had been working with the Navy and he was discharged for misconduct.
Yeah, he was discharged and he had been arrested. He should have never got a top secret, or a top, secret clearance, what that means, or a secret clearance.
And I read one article that said that he may have stolen a clearance, but Zoltan Mate, double-handed shooting, hipfire. I have tried dual wielding. It's not really as easy as it looks in the movies, and it's incredibly impractical. It just doesn't really work. So, well, I mean, yes, you can fire with both hands, but especially considering that, well, we'll just leave it at it's not very practical, and so I don't put it in videos. Hip fire, not really a whole lot, but point firing is practical, where you point. And I've read a lot of articles from firearms instructors who teach that and prefer that method, because the idea is that in a self-defense situation, when you're really stressed out, it's very natural to just point at something and have your aim be, relatively accurate, because it's a natural behavior to be able to point. You don't have to think about it. I think it's a great technique to practice, at least. Matthew Jones, Barry and Eric did a good video demonstrating dual guns. Didn't hit S. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, if you think about it, a lot of people are like single eye dominant. Like, I'm left eye dominant, so if I were to be firing with 2 hands, I would have to be like, fire one, fire the other, fire one, fire the other, and it would be really awkward. I mean, it's supposed to be done, but...
Especially with recoil, the closer you put the guns together, the more...
Yeah, my dad's making a great point about recoil. Because you're firing each single-handed, there's a tendency for the gun to kick, and they can even kick into each other, which is a lot less impressive than what it looks like in the movies and on television. Back to the Navy Yard stuff. Okami Jigoku says, actually, no AR-15 was used. The FBI came out today and said he only used a shotgun and handgun that he got off of a cop that he killed. And Daniel Hadley, gangsta grip? There is an interesting article on thearmsguide.com about that. There are some people who...
Tilt, not necessarily.
I know, I'm getting there. I didn't write the article, and it is from the opinion of, or the experience of another of the contributors. But instead of the 90-degree tilt, so not completely the gangsta style, but having some degree of angle in your grip when you're shooting single-handed, for some people believe that because of the alignment, allowing that firearm to be in better alignment with your ulna, I believe that is, that it allows you to manage the recoil better. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know that that's 100% the case, but I do know from my own experience with it, if I shoot left-handed or single-handed and I have just a little bit of a cant, like maybe 10-15 degrees, it does seem to be more accurate for me. Now, I wouldn't go so far as to tilt it completely sideways, but I guess there's something to be said for everything in moderation. Schwell11 says, I know I do shoot, or I do it when I shoot one-handed, I tilt. And Okami Jigoku says, it's like a 30-degree tilt, I wouldn't go past that. Brian Kane, what is the knife you're into carrying at the moment? I switch whatever knives I'm carrying depending on how large my pants pockets are. Being a female, that ends up being a limiting factor sometimes. And what I'm in the mood to carry, where I'm going to be, at the moment though, I have my Benchmade Triage on me at the moment. This one I like in part because of not just the actual knife, the blade on it, but I like that it has the carbide glass breaker, and it has the safety strap, the strap cutter on it too. Ends up being very convenient. I believe that's part of the marketing, is that it's a survival knife. Looking through some more comments over here. Cody, hey y'all, I'm a little bit late, but I'm here. Well, welcome. For those of you who haven't done this, or who haven't joined a live stream before, the reason why I hold them for an hour and a half is so that you can better, tune in and tune out as your schedule provides. It's kind of hard trying to accommodate for a whole bunch of people's schedule at once, especially since we have such a wide geographical spread, and some people work third shift and some people, first shift or whatever. So if you miss any of the conversation and you want to catch up later, I upload the recording of this live conversation to youtube.com/FateofDestinee. Actually, last week's live stream just went live this afternoon, I believe, so a few hours ago. Alright, looking through. John Cromarty. Switchblades recently became legal in Texas. What's the law up there? As far as I can recall, I'm not a lawyer, so you'll want to verify this with, with someone who knows the law. It's their job to know the law specifically. Like a lawyer might be a great reference. But from what I recall off the top of my head, switchblades are not allowed. Automatic knives are not allowed. I do believe you could have an assisted opener. And yeah, there are some cities or counties that have specific requirements. Like I know there's some, or at least for a while, there was a restriction in the city of Milwaukee as far as blade length goes, but I don't live in Milwaukee, so I don't need to worry about that unless I were to travel out to Milwaukee. In which case I've got my concealed carry permit, and I haven't seen anything in the language of the concealed carry that restricts blade length. But from what I've been told from police officers, it's kind of down to their, if they think you're dangerous or not. All right, let's look through another question here. Kenny, have you shot the H&K 93? Unfortunately, I haven't. I'm sorry. Looking through some more. Woohoo! Bradley says, woohoo, my bid just won me a Leupold M8 for my 454. Very nice. David Lloyd Humphrey gave a Benchmade mini griptilian to a female nurse today. She helped me a lot with a leg injury. I appreciated her. That was one of my first little pocket knives. I still have it. They're really helpful little convenient little blades. I mean, the blade size is enough that it fits in like almost all the pants that I wear. And the steel is solid, at least for my everyday uses. I do remember, though, when I use it, I have to, if I like use it with anything wet, like maybe peeling an apple or something, I have to wash it off and dry it pretty quickly because it will, I do notice it gets a little bit corroded. Steve Wallace, if we carry a knife in public over here across the pond, if you don't need it for your job or haven't just purchased it, you get arrested and community service. Oof. Brian Kane says, very nice knife. I have 2 blades on my channel with the same type of thing going on as your Benchmade. I like the modified sheep's foot. I have a couple of other blade styles, blade steels, but the modified sheep's foot seems to work well for a lot of my purposes. Oh, Jamie Allen, ditto on Zombie Tim. Is his ventilation improved? You'll just have to stay tuned. Alright, I'm getting back to the top of the comment feeds. Give me just a second. Timothy, I don't know if that's Claiborne, or... I'm sorry. My XDS 45 is being recalled. Thanks for the tip. Oh, I'm glad that was helpful. I have an article on the XDS 45 and 9mm recalls, but then not, I think September 9th it was, so not terribly long ago, just a week or so ago. Caracol announced a recall of all of their Model C pistols, every single one of them. That's got to be a hit for them. Scott Messino, I own 2 knives, Cold Steel Recon Scout and Cold Steel Peacekeeper 2, that's it. I've got, I like knives, so I have a little bit of a collection. I also find that they're easier to justify purchasing just because they're less expensive than firearms. Yankee Marshall, both of my XDSs are recalled. Yeah, both of mine too. Unfortunately, but... Alrighty. Looking through... Scott, lots of recalls lately. Yeah, unfortunately. Scott Messina, is it okay to own just 2? Absolutely, it's okay to own just 2. Whatever works for you. Okay. Destiny, have you ever visited the North Carolina coast? Nags Head, Kill Devil Hills. I've been to North Carolina, but I have not been to that area. Old, Dirty, and Smelly. Maybe I'm immature, but that name always makes me chuckle. One-handed opening knives are just as fast as autos. Have you seen those Emerson the Waves? I know they also did Emerson and Spyderco had a collaboration knife that had the wave function on it too, on the Delica. That thing is like the quickest unassisted deploy I have seen. The wave mechanism where you just catch it on like the inside of your belt. There's a little hook on the back of on the spine of the blade, and you catch that on like your pocket and just flip. It's awesome. Brian Kane, do you have a job outside of YouTube? Yeah, I'm a writer. I'm the managing editor for thearmsguide.com, and we now have 14, I believe it is, 14 contributors, including myself, which is really exciting, and we release content every day. And I really, really love that job because I get to write about and talk about guns and gear and the shooting sports, but all from like an approachable and friendly perspective. Our goal is to talk to other people who are into firearms, but who maybe don't necessarily have the experience that law enforcement or military personnel have. Although we have plenty of LEOs and military personnel who still tune in and give their feedback, and we have a few of them also on the writing crew, so we get a lot of different perspectives to be able to contribute. Jennifer Young, no knives here, but considering getting my first. Any ideas? That Benchmade mini grip that somebody mentioned earlier is a wonderful little pocket knife. It's just very convenient, and depending on your needs. I've got a lot of Benchmade knives. Their steel seems to hold up well, and I have their Adamas with the D2 tool steel. That thing is hardy as heck. I beat the crud out of that knife, and it just puts up with whatever. And if you're willing to sit there and work on it a little while to resharpen it, you can get it down to a fine edge. Oh, I'm seeing a bunch of people lost feed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people seem to have lost the feed. Try refreshing. Let me... Oh, it looks like a couple... How'd you do 22 says, I refreshed, it's back for me. Bradley says, works now. John Cromarty says, yep. Kenneth A. Fuller says, just came back, but still skipping. Marcus DeBruno, good to go. Okay. I hope it hangs in there. Peter Duffy, she took up too much bandwidth with her pigtails. What if I did this? Then I could... Looking through... Looks like a bunch of people refreshed and it came back. Alrighty. Let's get back through some questions. But yeah, that Benchmade mini grip is a great place to start. Cold Steel also has... What I like about Cold Steel knives is their steel is very strong, but they also have some very affordable options and very lightweight and easy to conceal. So they might be someone to a knife company into which to consider too. Mike Merritt. Are you looking for writers? I used to write for the Journal Sentinel in Milwaukee. No, I've actually heard of that. I've read an article or two of theirs online. Yes, most definitely. If you're interested in contributing, you can send me an email at fateofdestinee@gmail.com, and we can talk a little bit more about it. I'm really glad that you mentioned that, though. We are always looking for some new contributors. Steve Wallace. Des, do you ever wear a covert multi-threat vest? I do sometimes in high-risk areas / times since I was threatened with a knife. It's not a video that I've ever produced, but whether or not I wear one, I might and I might not. Henga Nui says, 94 people watching, 400 at the NSA listening. LOL. But hey, 94 people tuned in. That's awesome. Okay. Looking through some more comments. Old Dirty and Smelly. I have a small collection of kukris from Hawaii. I absolutely love the blade shape of kukris. They're beautiful. That and they work, which is more important, but just from an aesthetic perspective, they're my favorite style of machete. Charger 8924. Have you ever fired a Mateba auto revolver? No, I have not. I've never shot any kind of auto revolver. I bet it'd be fun though. David Lloyd Humphrey. I like Benchmade's axis lock, not liner lock. I got a cut from a blade, folding blade on another brand. Yeah, liner locks aren't my favorite, but I don't mind them so much. What I have more of a problem with though are the shoot. I just blanked. What is the lockback? There we go. Lockback knives. That's my least favorite. Although I own a number of knives that employ that system of locking. I don't prefer it just because I have to use 2 hands to lock or unlock the blade and then shut it. Although that does ensure that I don't, have my fingers around the blade, which is the problem with liner locks. given my preferences, I like an Axis-style locking mechanism. Yankee Marshall, are you looking for articles with poor spelling and even worse grammatical structure as well as questionable content? Woo! That would give me something to work on for a while. But definitely, Yankee, you should totally email me about writing for the Arms Guide. That would be really, really cool. Peter Duffy, I'm in New Jersey. I carry a 1-inch butter knife as my EDC. Those slices of bread, better watch out. You are about to be really dangerous. Looking through. Jade, I got a rusty straight machete from Brazil, about 50 to 60 centimeters. Oh, that's good for something. I mean, I wouldn't prefer a rusty blade, but I wouldn't mind something like that camping. Zoltan Mate, this is why guns and such regarding physical safety are to be made single government things. My guess. Or maybe just following everyone, and then it's okay because connections can be found out. I'm sorry, I was not tracking that. I'm trying, but I'll just go to another comment here. I'm just not sure what you mean. If you could clarify, maybe I could address it though. Thor to Shane, I want the Cold Steel Spartan. Oh yeah, I like that blade. I like the shape on it too. That wide belly. Scott Messino, rusty machetes always worked for Jason Voorhees. Oh yeah, it was just Friday the 13th. In a, I don't know. Not celebration isn't the word, but because it was Friday the 13th, I went and bought like 4 of the Jason movies. I haven't watched them yet though. I've been too busy. Peter Lockerbie. Hey, I got a machete that was in World War I. It was made in 1918. That's awesome. I love an arm with a piece of, whether a firearm, a knife, any kind of weapon with some history to it. That's just interesting to me. I love history. Lance Stone, Karambit for the win. Yeah, those things are nasty. I like them. As far as like self-defense or fighting knives go, not that I get into knife fights, but I have done some study of fighting with edged weapons through my martial arts. Peter Duffy, the best home defense in New Jersey is stale pizza. You have to practice it, but it can be thrown ninja style. Awesome. Steve Wallace, I severed a tendon in my hand when the lock on my 13-inch stiletto knife failed. Now I have a nice scar. Yikes. Ow. I've gotten a couple of little scars from knives, but usually they're just from working in a kitchen because I used to be a sub shop worker back in the day. That was my day job for a while, and it just kind of happens working in a kitchen, you know, whether it be like cutting vegetables or meats or bread or whatever, I'd get little nicks. So I have plenty of scars from that. But luckily I haven't done anything like too serious. And I've not injured myself for a video with a knife. Thank goodness. But scars are stories, right? Marcus De Bruno, if you are worried about carrying at the 4 o'clock with a backup pistol, I would suggest trying appendix, as it is easy access, and if knocked on the back, it's not pinned. That's how I carry. I have a hard time making appendix carry work as far as concealing it, but I have opted for appendix carry as a very convenient method of deep conceal under a few circumstances. And I agree, though, that that's a great point, that it doesn't sit right along your spine. By the way, just curious, if you're comfortable with answering, who among you carries a backup pistol? Old dirty and smelly, chicks dig scars. Totally. That must mean chicks dig me? I've got a lot of scars. Especially from burns, working in restaurants. That seems to be impossible to avoid. Scott Messino, Lynn Thompson can teach you to knife fight and cut huge chunks of meat, I bet you. Thor to Shane, working in restaurants suck. I still have tons of scars from my time in one. Yep, that's what like the majority of the scars on my hands and arms are from. I've got some really pretty burn ones, more than any like knife injuries I've ever had. I've burnt myself pretty bad. Steve Wallace.
Somebody mentioned the Blitz.
Steve Wallace, Des, do you... Oh, I answered that already. I'm sorry, my comments, like, jumped backwards. Ah, here we go. Steve Wallace. I have the Cold Steel Gladius, the Latin, and a few others. Yeah, I have a number of Cold Steel blades.
You have like 3. Do you want to say that? How many machetes you have?
Yeah. I have a number of the... I have some of their machetes, and then I have a bunch of their blades. Okay, so, somebody mentioned the FoD Blitz. Well, let's bring up I have to bring up YouTube. First, I guess I'll explain what I do for those of you who haven't participated in an FoD Blitz before. Or a FoD Blitz? Anyway, what I like to do is use my friends to go out, which is you guys, to go out to a YouTuber that I want to kind of help support. I pick out one specific video, we all go to that video and comment. Something simple like FoD sent me, Destiny sent me, FoD Blitz, or something creative or clever or whatever you want. But basically, to head over to this video and show the channel a little bit of love. And what I do is I go to bring up the video and I read the comments as they pop up. So first I need to go bring up YouTube, because I don't have a YouTube page up at the moment. Right now would be great, actually. Thank you. Oops, 2 seconds. I'm bringing up... Here we go. Sorry, my computer was loading a little bit slow, I guess because I'm recording at the same time that I'm doing this. I'd like to go to FX Hummel 1, so that's spelled FXHUMMEL, and then the number 1. And his latest vid, yes. So the apples to oranges, 1911 versus M&P and XES, I believe. Yes, 1911 versus M&P and XDM. Sorry, I was close. Okay, so if you haven't already, go to the video, Apples to Oranges, 1911 versus M&P versus XDM by FX Hummel 1, and leave some sort of comment, and I will go ahead and read them. Go, go, go! I enjoy FX Hummel's stuff. I first found him when he had produced a song about my channel. He actually ended up producing 2 songs. And I just got a huge kick out of him. He's got a great sense of humor, and he's very talented musically. He produces some very original content. So, alright, let me go to the comment section here. Comments. Alright. I will go ahead and start reading them. The Blue Raptor, Fate of Destiny sent me. FoD Blitz Mania! Alessio B. Arise, Riders of Destiny! Thumbs up shall be given. Subscribers shall be made. Subscriptions shall be made. A kind day, a sweet day. Ride now. Ride to seduce hearts. Ride to seduce minds. 4th FoD Army to the Blitz! Oh my gosh, that is the most dramatic comment I've ever read, like in my whole life. I feel like I should be wearing warrior paint or something to read something that epic. That was great, Alessio. Peter Lockerbie, FoD Blitz. Neanderthor 66. Destiny doesn't think you have enough views. She sent us. Excavator. We're here from FoD. I think they call it a blitz. FoD Blitz. Buckle up, Sonny. This is about to be a ride. Lutz Mowinski. You have been FoD blitzed from Germany. Okami Goku 13. The FoD Blitz has begun! Oh man, you guys are awesome. Let me go ahead and refresh real quick. Oh geez, I missed a whole bunch just with that one refresh. That's fantastic, guys. Jamie Allen. LOL, Blitz! Ted McCaffrey says Springfield every day. Charger 8921. Fate of Destiny. T-Rex Army Blitzkrieg. We're so vicious. In the best kind of way. Savage Henry 762. Destiny Blitz. Baseball. Oh, geez. If I've mispronounced these, I'm sorry. Baseball BK 30. Destiny brought me here. You got a new sub. Hopefully I get some new viewers as well. Eric K. FoD Blitz. Des sent me. Mark 38 1969. It's a FoD Blitz movement. Jennifer Young. You have been blitzed. FoD Blitzkrieg. Ken Fuller. FoD Blitz. We enjoy you singing with your sister. DMG 2418. FoD Blitz.
Yankees comment.
Yeah, I'm almost there. Almost caught up. Lance D. Stone. FoD Blitz. Nice holster. Looks like a PT belt. Those things keep you safe. So I've been told. Dave Morgan. Good comparison. Destiny sent me. Viking Knight 2012. FoD Blitz. The Yankee Marshal. Fate of Destiny told me to tell you that you have a sexy ass. Okay, she didn't tell me that. It was me that said it. I'm sure he's very flattered, Yankee. Buffon 07. I had coffee with the FoD Blitz half an hour ago. Del Reed. Hey, Destiny sent me. Love from the Dest. FoD Blitz. Knock, knock. Oh, this is Patrick Toscano, by the way. Knock, knock. Who's there? Orange. Aren't you? Aren't you glad I said apples? Wait, that's not right. FoD Blitz. Cute. Alright, let me refresh to see if there are any new comments. Yes, there are. Mike Merritt. Or Merritt, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. Much love coming from Fate of Destiny. My gosh, you guys, this is insane. Thank you so much. Rhythm Brewer. Apples? Oranges? Destiny sent me. One for guns. Pounce, pounce. Pile on, pile on. Scott Bartlett. FoD Blitz. Des. The Manchester Wizard. Fate of Destiny, friends here to blitz your video. Peter Duffy. Failure rocks. ... Volkov 556. Great shooting, FX and Blitz. Every time we do this, I think of that song. It's a ballroom blitz. It's a ballroom blitz. So it's stuck in my head now. One for guns. I don't even know how many times he said it, but he repeated FoD, 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 FoD like 30 times. And then he did it again.
Oh no. Careful.
And again. And again. They're like getting marked as spam. He's put so many of them.
Yeah, he'll be spammed.
Johnny Crow 17. Congratulations, you are the latest victim of the FoD Blitz. No worries, no one ever sees it coming.
Wow, that was a lot.
Yeah. One for Guns keeps posting that FoD, FoD, FoD over and over again. He's getting flagged as spam now. Like 8 times. Alright. Holy freak sauce, Batman. That's redonkulous. Look at how many of these there are. Dude, you guys rock. Seriously. That's awesome. Nope, Yankee Marshall says, have to go to Costco and buy a shed later. Well, thanks for joining. Wow, that was awesome. I like being able to support other YouTubers in our little firearms, gear, knives, tactical community. Actually, that is my motivation for my Helping Hands project, which is also my 50K giveaway. And I have recorded the video. I will be releasing it very soon, Thursday, so September 19th, if you're watching this. Not the live version, but the recorded version. So Thursday, September 19th, pop over to youtube.com/FateofDestinee to get all of your information on the Helping Hands charity project and my 50K subscriber giveaway. It's the same kind of goal as the FoD Blitz, where I want to help use you guys, my friends and my viewers, to help support other channels. I want to be generous and encourage other people to be generous with their views for and support for smaller channels just getting started. So less than 5,000 subscriber channels. Because I remember it wasn't that long ago that my channel was that small. And I'm still not even one of the like super big dogs on YouTube. But that first like few thousand subscribers, it's difficult to try to build up a channel up at that point. So I will be having a giveaway to help incentivize you guys to help give some lovin' on some other smaller channels. Okay, let's go through some more comments here. I got behind because I was reading the YouTube comments, so let's check out some more of these comments. Ermagerd! Chocolate Dell! I loves you! FoD Blitz! Is that from Scotley Crew 77? Okami Jigoku 13 says, Das FoD Panzerkampfer Blitz! At least I hope I pronounced that right. I know like 5 words in German. Which is kind of sad. But okay. David Lloyd Humphrey. Am I the only old guy here who does not have a YouTube channel? I know there are plenty of people who either, if they don't have channels, they'll just like watch, but one of the wonderful things about this giveaway that I'm about to be hosting is you can be eligible to win something whether you have a video producing channel or you just like watching videos. There'll be something, there's a little something for everybody. Jennifer Young, I bought a GoPro recently, so I'm trying to figure out how to do this whole video editing thing. I have just as much fun with the video production as I do of the actual like recording of videos. That has been like a 2-year learning process, and every time I produce a video, I swear I learn something new. I'm always trying to do something more interesting and exciting. It keeps it fun for me. But it definitely has caused me to be accused of working too hard on my videos, which I think is funny because, I mean, why is that a bad thing to work too hard on a video? Like, how can you work too much? But anyway, next question. Thor to Shane, Battle of the Badasses. Are you disappointed you were eliminated in round 1? Honestly, I've just been following along for the fun of it, whether I won or I lost. I know it's all just to be silly, and I get a kick out of Bagger and Andy, the lead contributors there, their snark. I think it's entertaining. So, plus, I don't take myself too seriously. I mean, handling firearms safely, yes, that's serious, but taking myself seriously, it's something I do even in my own videos, so I can't say I was ever offended if they, you know, if anybody has negative comments. I'm very thick-skinned. I guess it just comes up with how I was raised. Teasing is a big part of, and sarcasm is a big part of my family's interactions. It's just how we are, so I don't get offended quickly, but I am very quick to have a laugh. I'll still be following their battle as it progresses. Lance Stone, I could never choose between Eric and Company and Des. Daw. Dmitry Volkov, sarcasm is where it's at. Yeah, that's just it's almost like a second language. And I have to watch myself sometimes because I'll be talking with some of my other friends who maybe don't know me as well, don't know that about me as well. Because I also try to be really polite. That's also how I was raised. But there's just kind of a level or a line that is crossed once I feel like we're good friends and whatever. You'll know it because I'll start giving you a really hard time about things, just poking fun. But just as much as I poke fun at my friends, I don't mind having people poke fun at me. Daniel Hadley, I gave up brain capacity for a thick skull. Hey, it's got its uses. Marcus DeBruno. The first video I watched of FoD was her Ruger 380 review. That is my carry weapon. Oh, the LC380? Yeah, you liked that? I was pleased by the elements that went into the design, like the thought behind it of making something, designing a firearm in a way that makes it easier for newer shooters to approach. I really appreciate that, especially considering that, I mean, compared to some of you guys out there with 20, 30, 40 years of shooting experience, I'm comparatively quite new, and I also like being able to share my firearms enthusiasm with my friends who don't have experience. And so having a gun like the Ruger LC380 out there, it's easy to rack, or easy to chamber, easy to operate. It's great. I want to see more firearms like that. Charger 8924. Any singing vids come up? Sorry for being a royal PETA about it, but I love your singing voice. Oh, you're not a pain at all. I know I've been telling you this for a while, slowly working on a project, but the singing stuff is not as... I don't work on it as much as I work on like the regular Fate of Destiny videos, so I have more content up on Fate of Destiny than I have on All Things Destiny, which is the channel where I have my singing stuff and any other kind of like weird, creative, fun, whatever. Anything that's not guns, gear, and fitness with a twist goes on All Things Destiny, and because I make so many things for Fate of Destiny, the All Things Destiny channel I haven't put as much time into it. But hang in there, please. And Lance Stone, don't worry, Des. I'm more green than you when it comes to gun culture. I am fortunate that I have been, that I learned firearm safety as a kid, and that I've always had guns kind of around. So I never grew up with a fear of firearms, because I learned to respect them from a young age. And I'm glad that that's how my parents decided to raise me, because it's allowed me some really wonderful opportunities. And it's a lot of fun. Dmitry Volkov, will there be a Fate of Destiny hunting trip this season, if I may ask? I would like to, but I don't know, I have some other things planned. We'll see. I've never gone hunting. Not yet, anyway. I'd really like to, though. One day. Jennifer Young. I hope to capture my progress from first gun purchase and so on. That's one of my favorite things about YouTube and blogging, which I have my blog is FateofDestinee.com, and I write about the same stuff that I have videos on and my own experiences. And it's so neat to be able to catalog this progress. Not that I've gone, and become some sort of, ace pro shooter, but having that record of, past targets and in past videos and stuff, it's really neat and encouraging to see that personal development. Thor to Shane, Des, what is the twist? It's different in every video.
That's a good question overall. Maybe some people don't understand what that means.
One of my goals here on, well, I say here on YouTube, but not everybody will be watching this on YouTube. But
it's like I like mission statement, right?
Yeah, my goal, it's one of my personal goals to deconstruct stereotypes, negative stereotypes about firearms owners and firearms enthusiasts, because there are a lot of people I know from reading articles from other people, by speaking with other people, watching videos from other people, that there's this great sentiment that firearms enthusiasts or owners must be all, backwards, uneducated, uncreative, hillbilly, hicks who are all like right-wing nuts, and they're gun nuts, and I am not a gun nut. If anything, I'm a gun geek. I love learning and being creative and doing things differently. So that's very core to what my YouTube channel is about. Yeah, so it ties into my twist by being different and by introducing a creative flair into my productions. So they're not just gun reviews, but they're gun reviews with something fun or entertaining or amusing or exciting.
Or dumb.
Or dumb. Yeah, definitely that. Handgun newbie, Dest. For my next gun battle video, I'm going to shoot revolvers for the first time and 357 Magnum for the first time. How does 357 feel versus 9mm or 40? I would say it has snap to it. I guess kind of like how the 40 has snap to it, but it's definitely going to kick more than either. It's still well in the realm of being manageable, though. It's a lot of fun and a bigger bang. Lance Stone, anyone interested in CZ75 from the 80s? Absolutely. I love CZ75s. The ergonomics of that pistol are just fantastic. I have yet to find another pistol that works, another style of pistol that works for me ergonomically than the CZ. Yankee Marshall, I just walked in to get my carry gun and I heard you say backwards uneducated hick and assumed you were talking about me. Maybe, maybe not. You'll have to watch the rest of the chat. Jennifer Young, I love seeing other women who are into firearms. Makes me feel that I'm not alone, even if I am still very new to them. Same here. That's another part of why I continue to share my videos through YouTube. It has allowed me to interact with other female firearms enthusiasts, and it's definitely a growing community. Every time I go to the range, I see more ladies there than have been shooting there in the past, like, 3 years. It's great, and I want to help encourage other people to get involved. I've had a lot of people who've either like sent me PMs or emails or comments telling me that that's something they enjoy about my videos is that they're like newbie friendly. Jade Dest, how was shooting to 50 BMG? It's quite an experience. What's crazy about it is not so much the kick, as in the recoil that I felt on my shoulder, but more the concussion. When that air pressure just like woofs back at you. It feels like getting punched in the head with a wall of air. It sounds uncomfortable, but all it does really is clear the sinuses, but it's a completely unique experience. And tons of fun. Yankee Marshall, don't tell me what to do! You ain't my mom! Dmitry Volkov, CZs are gorgeous. Saw a stainless one with crimson grips at my local FFL. Ooh. I have seen some very lovely CZs, like all manner of blinged out. Have you seen their, it's the Checkmate, one of their race guns. It's a like open competition pistol. The thing looks like it belongs in some sort of sci-fi. I absolutely love it. It's really cool. Alright, let's get caught up. Steve Wallace, I'm a military enthusiast, and it really annoys me how some people can't understand why I collect. Probably the same reason you collect stamps. I enjoy it. I know that feel. I have had some people ask me why I have a particular interest in a particular firearm, even though it may not have the same sort of reputation that other guns have. Or maybe, oh, you have one handgun for concealed carry, why would you need any more? But I'm very much a collector. A number of my firearms, and knives for that matter, I've purchased because I enjoy them. Or I enjoy the history behind them, like with my Mosins. There's no, like, tactical self-defense reason for me to own more than one, or even necessarily, arguably, some people could argue that there's no tactical self-defense and application for a Mosin Nagant rifle, but I like them. I like the history. I like the look of them. I enjoy shooting them at the range, and for me, that's justification enough. Okay, getting caught back up on some comments here. Colleen Barnett. Sorry, Dast. Had to help my hubby in the garage, working on the car. See you next week. Well, thanks for joining for a little while, Colleen. Tell your hubby I say hi. John Thiebaud. Some people are cat people. I'm just a gun guy. Go figure. That is a wonderful way of expressing it. Yeah, I like dogs. I like guns. That's, you know. If you like the Mosin, watch Enemy at the Gate. I've seen that, and it was wonderful. Plus, I really enjoy Jude Law, so there's also that. There's some appeal there. That is just interesting. I watch a lot of war movies and documentaries on war, and a lot of action films just in general. So that was right up my alley. Jennifer Young, Gerald, I have to watch that again. Now I know what a Mosin is. Great movie. Yeah! It's funny, after I started learning more about firearms, especially when I started writing about them, for the Bank Switch, for FateofDestinee.com, for TheTruthAboutGuns.com, for TheArmsGuide.com, I put in tons and tons of research before I publish any articles. So once I started like taking in all of this new information, I'll go back and watch movies that I watched, you know, maybe several years ago, or especially as a kid. And I'm pointing out all these guns, or watching people have terrible firearms handling, and it colors all of that in a different light for me now, and there's something new to enjoy. My dad and I have a game that we play with every movie that we watch. We have to identify the guns in it. And he usually... I do pretty well. Most of the time I can get them. If I can't figure out what guns they are, my dad almost certainly can figure it out. And even if we're both stumped, we go to imfdb.org, .org, Internet Movie Firearms Database. I love that site, and they virtually always have it. There was like one movie that I watched that they didn't have on there, in my experience of using it in the last like 4 years or so. And it was one of those, like, awful B-rated horror flicks, so I can't say I really blame them, but... Old Dirty and Smelly. I like guns and dolphins with frickin' laser beams on their heads. And apparently also, Mike Myers movies. I hadn't seen those in a while. Looking through some more comments... Funker 530, anyone? Yeah, I watch Funker 530 and Funker Tactical. Those guys are really great. I've had the opportunity to meet them in person. They're wonderful people. It's funny, like, so many people who are firearms enthusiasts or in the firearms community who I've met have been just people I got along with really well. And even if I didn't, agree with them on all points, like, the Glock versus 1911 debates, or competition versus self-defense training, or what have you. I've just generally met a lot of very intelligent, generous, kind-hearted individuals, and have made a lot of friends because of it. RDVS87, does the term gun nut offend you at all? It doesn't offend me, but I don't use it, and I don't consider myself to be a gun nut, especially because there are connotations to the word nut, like crazy. And I'm not crazy, and no one I know who is a firearms enthusiast is crazy, and so I don't like to encourage that particular association of firearms enthusiasts as being crazy about guns. But if somebody is a self-described, likes to call themselves a gun nut, I'm not going to be like, well, you shouldn't be calling yourself that because it's demeaning. If that's a term that you want to use, that's all up to you. But I don't prefer to use that label with myself. Bradley, have you ever shot a 1911 long slide? I would go into debt for one of those. Oh, yeah, I've seen them, but I haven't shot them. My dad says he just saw one recently at a gun shop, but I haven't had the opportunity to check them out. I have seen them around, and I've seen a bunch of them online. And I would love to shoot one. I'm sure it would be awesome, but not yet. Yet. Oh, I know I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but we're getting down to, we only have about 15 minutes left in the live stream, so I'm going to pop in a couple of housekeeping things, I guess. Well, for one, the 50K giveaway, that video, I'll be releasing it Thursday. So all of you who have gotten in touch with me and told me you wanted to help work on the Helping Hands project, which is what I'm calling the charity event associated with the 50K giveaway, there will be all the information. I'll be announcing the giveaway officially in that video. So tune in to youtube.com/FateofDestinee, and everybody can help, not just the people who volunteered, by the way. And there's something for, there's ways to get involved, whether you have your own YouTube channel, or you produce videos, or you have your YouTube channel but you don't produce videos, or you just watch YouTube videos. Whatever, there's something for everybody to check out there. So please, Thursday afternoon, check out the video and let me know what you think. Leave me some comments, and hopefully you'll get involved. I'd really like to ask you guys to share it, because I want to get as many people involved in the giveaway as possible, and as many people to benefit from the charity project that it will be including. And that'll only work if I can get your help. So please check out the video that comes out on Fate of Destiny on Thursday and share it. Okay, also, the Arms Guide. I mentioned earlier, I'm managing editor for that site. We've got a bunch of awesome contributors there. So if you haven't already, stop by thearmsguide.com and let me know what you think. I also contribute to the Bank Switch, and I have my own website, FateofDestinee.com. And if you haven't stopped by, let me know what you think. Drop a comment. We're always interested in hearing some feedback. Yeah, I guess that was the important stuff I wanted to mention, especially with the 50K giveaway coming up. I've put a ton of work into this project, and I'm really excited to see the response. And it's my opportunity to be able to give back, and I'm looking forward to it. Daniel Hadley, you're giving away 50K? You'll just have to tune in to find out. Wouldn't that be nice, though? Charger8924, is Young Guns TV still around? Yes, and I do still, all my videos that are on YouTube, they also go up on Young Guns TV. Brian Kane, will do. You can check out my channel if you want. I would love your feedback. What's your channel name? Even better, send me like a PM on Facebook or a comment or on YouTube, so that I can remember and look into that later. I'm compiling a list of these channel names that are less than 5,000 subscribers. Jeff Eames, got to go. Good night, Dad of Destiny, FoD. Espero que tengas una noche buena, Destiny. Muchas gracias. Igualmente a usted. They'll read, holy crap, your live stream is the fastest 90 minutes of my life, Dest. I always feel that way. Very, very infrequently, I can't even think if ever, have we had a live stream where I've gone, don't know what to talk about. Head scratching. They've all gone along really smoothly. I really enjoy the opportunity to chat with everybody. It's such a neat format. Marcus DeBruno, of the firearms you have shot, which was the hardest to get used to? I think the Schofield was one of the most difficult pistols I've shot to adjust to, because that thing is so like front heavy, and the grip is very small in proportion to the length of the barrel, and so I always felt like it was this nosing. And also, I don't shoot a whole lot of single action, and that is a single action revolver. So that took me a box or so to kind of get used to that. David Lloyd Humphrey, I like Hickok 45. Enjoyed the Girl in the Woods you did with him. I get such a huge kick out of his dry sense of humor. He always makes me chuckle. He's just a very nice person in general. His family, overall, wonderful people. Looking through some more comments here, because we have still 10 more minutes before we wrap everything up. Lance Stone, ever read The Art of War by Sun Tzu? I could show you on my Nook. I have downloaded it and started reading it, but I'm only a couple of pages in. Because I'm reading my other books, because one of my friends got me on the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan, and I'm totally like, I'm so gone on them. I absolutely love them. I'm hooked. Anytime I have a spare moment, even if it's like, okay, I wrote for 6 hours, I can take like 20 minutes to read, right? Or like, in the car going grocery shopping with somebody. I'll be sitting in the car reading on the way to the grocery store or whatever. I've always been really bad about that. But I'm also reading the Dark Tower series by Stephen King. I'm reading that through again. And I'm also in another reread of the Lord of the Rings series by Tolkien, so I get caught up on fiction. Eric Kimichik, I'm sorry, I still don't know how to pronounce your name. When are you going to launch your book, Destiny? Oh, I know, I'm not done with it yet. I'm working on it some tonight, though, so send me some good writing vibes that I get a whole lot of work done on it. Let's see. Well, I have a whole bunch of stuff that I'm planning on right now, so I think ideally I'll be done with it by this spring, or spring of 2014. Fingers are crossed. I should be able to get it done shorter than that. I just need to get more regimented on working on my personal projects, aside from my other writing projects like the Arms Guide and YouTube. Well, that's not a writing project, but it still takes up like 40 hours of my week. Ted McAfee, have you ever read any of the books from the guys that Software Bro? Yes. Well, specifically, I read the book that Brandon Webb wrote, the Red Circle, and that was a pleasantly quick read, even. And it just gave me a lot of really interesting insight from, or an interesting window into a world that I otherwise would not have had that exposure. But I think it's worth a read if you've got a couple hours to spare. David Lloyd Humphrey, I like W.E.B. Griffin's The Corps books on the Marines from World War II forward. I will have to look into that. That sounds interesting. Charger 8924. Can we get some autographed copies? Oh man, all this pressure. I really gotta get this done. You guys will almost certainly be the first to know about any progress with my books. I actually have 2 in the works. I need to finish at least one of them, like now. Brian Kane, message sent to you on YouTube, Destiny. Thank you. I will look into that, and I will add you to the list of subscribers that will be following for the giveaway. Oh, we've got some people leaving. Bye, everybody. John Thiebaud, in particular. If there's anybody else who's leaving that I missed. Bye, guys. Thanks for joining. But for those of you who are sticking around, we still have a few more minutes. Thor to Shane Clancy is really good. I have read a little bit of Clancy, but not in a few years. I also like... Oh, man, I forgot his name. But it was a... You know what, I'll have to just look it up, because it's an author who writes in a similar style to Clancy that I like, and I haven't read his stuff in a while either. But I get stuck on my favorite authors, and I reread them a lot. Marcus DeBruno, if you're interested in sci-fi and biological reads that are quite ridiculous, check out Parasite Eve by Hideki Sena. That's a familiar name. Also has a movie and 2 video games based on it. I love them all. that definitely sounds worth a perusal. Modern Gunfighter. I'll take your photograph for your books. Aww. Charger 8924. You have my full support for your books, Des. More power to ya. I'm getting all like blushy, guys. Okay, sorry, getting caught up on comments here. Eric, 1 second after was fantastic. Oh, all these new books to read. Yeah. Alright, looking through, I missed something and it dropped down in my little queue here. Bradley, so Des, how long till a Vaquero comes home with you? Oh, I hope soon. I have been just short of drooling over them. I found a lovely pair of them on Gunbroker, and another, just a single at Gander. And it was so difficult to not buy them, but I have some other stuff coming up that I needed to spend money on, so I had to plan my purchases. Lance Stone, Des! Can I translate your books to Czech when they're done? Pretty please? I actually work as an English to Czech books translator. Holy shoot, that is really freaking cool. Send me an email at FateofDestinee@gmail.com so I can have your info, and well, maybe we can work together on a translation. That would be really cool. Okami Jikoku, I'll buy 3 of your books. 1 autographed copy, 1 to read to death, and the other to read after that one. I haven't even finished writing and you're all like being awesome sauce. You guys are the coolest, seriously. Bradley, silly me, it has to be a matched pair, of course, for cowboy action. Which does make it kind of an expensive sport, but I'd rather look at it in the light of, I have justification to buy 4 new guns. Heck yes, please. Not that I ever have to really work hard to try to justify guns. It's basically, will the bank account allow me or won't it? And if I have other, like, planned purchases, I gotta try to keep a restraint on my firearms budget. Okay. Same thing with, like, 3-gun. But do I need another gun? Of course. I need all the guns. Kenneth A. Fuller, we'll get Destiny on the bestseller list. Ah! That has been a dream of mine since I was, gosh, in like 2nd grade, elementary school. I've always wanted to be a writer. Dill Reed, being a writer with 2 books published, I offer my services as proofwriter. Free to you, of course. Please email me, if you didn't catch it, FateofDestinee@gmail, so I can write this stuff down and I can remember you guys in the next couple of months when I get this done. Oh, that puts the pressure on. But I need that. Pressure's good. I work best under pressure. Jade, there's no question about need, only about want and giving into that. And for firearms, I feel whatever I need to purchase is up to me to determine whether or not it's a need, because it's my money, you know? Lance Stone, same here, Des. My publisher for who I work always tells me he'll publish if I wrote something. Yeah, I have a couple of people who have been really helpful with giving me references for publishers who I may go through. I may be... Oh, Brian Kane, what is your book going to be about?
Which one?
Well, I suppose the more... I'm working on a fiction series and a nonfiction book. The nonfiction book is the one that I'm trying to finish up first. And it's currently, its working title, 30 Self-Defense Tips You Can't Live Without. Yes, I know ending a sentence in a preposition is improper grammar, but it's a title, so work with me on this. And, well, it's just like it sounds. It'll be about self-defense for the everyday guy, basically, or girl. And I have been collecting information from my own research and from interviews with law enforcement, military personnel, and self-defense instructors. And so I'm hoping that it is informative but also fun. And the second one is a fiction series that will be probably not probably, it's a larger project, and it will be about a gunslinger. And it'll have fantastical elements to it, so it'll be a fiction/fantasy novel, but centered around firearms. Thor to Shane, without which you cannot live, does not have the same ring to it. No, it does not. Eric Kimichek, I'll translate your book to Portuguese, Destiny. Sweet. I never even considered international sales. Honestly, it's just been such a goal just to even get it written. But I'm looking at the time. We are up. Thank you, everybody, for joining this conversation. It's been wonderful, and tune in. Hope to see you next week at new.livestream.com/FateofDestinee at 7 p.m. Central Time. Thanks, everyone.